This video is going to focus on flexion of the digits for manual muscle testing. So we'll be doing the MCP, the PIP, and the DIP. Palpation is a little difficult in these just because of how deep some of these muscles sit and how small they are. So we'll still talk about it. The first one that we're going to do is MCP flexion. If you watched the range of motion video, you'll know that it is these joints. So it's our knuckles in our hands. It's our metacarpal phalangeal joint. The muscles for this are going to be your lumbricals, your palmar, and your dorsal interossi, right? So remember that MCP flexion goes this way. You may be able to get a contraction over the palm when they move, so go ahead and go into flexion for me. Good job. Typically, you'll have them flat on a table, right? And you'll have them go slightly into flexion. You can either do this as all fingers or you can isolate a finger. I'll be isolating the second digit, which is the index finger. You're going to provide support on the palm. Only use 1 or 2 fingers to apply that resistance because, again, small muscles, we don't want to yank a whole hand on to a finger because that would be bad. You will have them stabilized and then you've had them move, right? And then you will pull into extension. Hold this position. Don't let me move you. Good. I would rate that a 5 out of 5, which means full range of motion against full resistance. The next one we're going to do is the PIP joint, which is the proximal interphalangeal joint. That is this joint right here, the second one. So here's our first one, here's our second one. Again, you can kind of test them all at once or you can do one at a time. I'm going to do one at a time. The muscles for this is the flexor digitorum superficialis. To palpate, it's again over the palmar surface of the proximal phalanges. So I would hold here, go ahead and flex your finger. You can feel that one a little bit better. For this, the stabilization, right, you're going to kind of have to isolate that MCP and keep that from moving. So the back of the hand is going to look like this. Your thumb is going to be on that MCP, and you're going to kind of put a finger above that into that second bone and then into their palm so that they can't move that, but then they have free movement of that joint, right, as you can see. So this would be flat on a table, right, again, with the exception of where your hand is. You're going to have them go into that flexion again. Hold this position, don't let me move you. Only using a finger, provide that resistance. Very good. I would rate you a 5 out of 5, which means you have full range of motion against gravity and can withstand maximum resistance. Moving up the finger to the DIP, the muscle for this is the flexor digitorum profundus. You can kind of palpate it the same way, the palmar side of at that IP joint right above it. So go ahead and flex that little part of your finger. Good job. If she does it again, you can actually see it kind of moving entirely in her palm and up her wrist the way that I have it kind of stabilized. For stabilization of this, your thumb is going to go on that PIP joint and you're going to stabilize on either side of that, right? So again, that we're isolating ideally that movement as much as possible. Go ahead and flex it a little bit for me. Thank you. Same thing, hold this position. Don't let me move you. Again, just the tip of your finger. You don't want to take their finger off. Good job. I would rate that a 5 out of 5, which means she has full range of motion against gravity with maximum resistance.